The Forest of Hearts. Hidden deep in the northern mountains, where clouds never fully part and the sun is more memory than reality, lay a forgotten village, Alaris. The people there lived slow, quiet lives, warmed by wood fires, whispered tales, and an unspoken respect for the land around them. But to the north of the village stretched a place none dared enter, the Forest of Silence. Birds avoided it. Even wolves and bears circled wide around its borders. The wind itself quieted at its edge, and it was said that once you stepped past its trees, the forest heard your heart and decided if you were worthy to return. Yet someone lived there, a young woman known only as Rowan. No one knew when she had arrived, nor where she came from. With dark hair streaked with gray, like frost in the night, and misty green eyes that rarely blinked, Rowan lived in the forest like a spirit made flesh. She spoke little, and only to those who could hear without ears, for her voice was not made of words, but presence, breath, and gaze. Animals came to her, injured owls, wild foxes, mute wolves. She was the one they trusted, the guardian of the voiceless. One day, a boy from the village, Elias, entered the forest. Angry at his mother, who wouldn't let him leave the village to chase his dreams, he vanished into the mist with nothing but a thin coat and a stubborn heart. The villagers searched, prayed, wept, but none dared cross the tree line. They had heard the stories. The forest does not just take your body, it listens to your soul. But on the second evening, Elias returned. He said nothing, just clung to his mother and cried. And from that night forward, he changed. He began sitting beneath the trees for hours, whispering into the wind. Birds perched on his shoulders. Deer approached without fear. He smiled less, but felt more. When asked what happened, he only said one thing. She listens. She doesn't speak, but she hears everything. Years passed. Villagers began leaving injured animals near the forest's edge. In the mornings, those animals would return, healed. And Elias grew, not just in height, but in depth. He had learned the silent language. When storms approached or strange silences fell over the land, Elias would quietly walk to the tree line, close his eyes, and return with peace in his gaze. When he turned 23, Elias left the village. No farewell, only a note. I must return to the stillness. My heart was awakened there. Perhaps one day I'll come back, and if I do, greet me not with words, but with warmth. The villagers never saw him again. But deep within the forest, they sometimes glimpsed two figures walking side by side, one with frost-touched hair, the other with starlight in his eyes. And over time, no one called it the Forest of Silence anymore. They gave it a new name, the Forest of Hearts, because now it no longer listened alone. It beat with two hearts.